Welcome to Canada TV, a perfect blend of resilience, hard work, and the power of determination. I have with me two very strong women right here. They are actually into real estate, and Polly happens to be a brokerage consultant. So it's going to be very interesting, especially for all the new immigrants out there who wants to come to Canada and want to invest their money into a right place. And how can we do that? That is much more important. We need a right guidance, and they are going to give it to us. So welcome, Irene and Polly.
Hi, happy to be here.
You look so beautiful. I am sure our cameras are fluttering and they're so shy to capture you. So welcome to this show once again. And this is Canada TV. Canada means a hub of possibilities. You know, everyone who comes to Canada, Irene and Polly, they have a dream in their mind. They want to make it big in the world. And there are also some people like me who comes from a very humble families. We have this mentality of financial stability. I always keep on telling it to myself that you need to remember the back of your head. You need to have a plan B. If plan A fails, plan B has to work. Being a real estate agent, what are your suggestions to a newcomer?
It's very interesting that you said coming from a mindset of saving and not spreading your wings. I feel that our parents and the other generation, the mentality of saving and not to invest and not to have this opportunity to spread your wings a little bit, we also got it at a very young age. And it was every dollar that you make, you put into your bank account and you make sure that it's there because nobody's going to take it. I find that in Canada, the land of opportunity is actually in the buildings, in the land, in the real estate. And history has shown that over every 10 years, regardless of how much money you invest in the real estate, your average return on investment, which is an ROI, will be approximately 10%. So definitely, yes, have a plan A and plan B and plan C, but also you can have those plans within a real estate portfolio that can generate you a great return as the money works for you.
So I have been suggested a lot by the mortgage consultant that Polly happens to be, is that you invest in one property and at the same time you buy one more property. If you have a budget of $1 million per se, you take a property of 5 and you take another property of 5 and then let this grow and let it pay for the one that you already bought. Is that the right suggestion?
You definitely have the right idea, absolutely. So like Irene said, that your money grows, right? You put in the investment, and with time, regardless of inflations, and if you see just the history of how the real estate has grown in Canada, every year the prices of homes go up, right? So whenever it's always a good time to buy, right? The more you wait, the harder it will be for you to purchase, because again, every year the prices go up.
Yes.
And I would love to take back of what you said of 1 million. So we love debt. The word debt, it comes with such a negative intonation that, oh my God, and again, I take it from my parents, you should not have ever any debt. In Canada, it's different. I would never take your full 1 million and say, yes, just split it $500,000 into 2 properties. Why? If the requirement from the bank is only to put 20% down on a property, use the Canadian money, use the bank money to grow your money. So instead of having $500,000 in an investment property, put only 20%. And then invest in more properties in order for it to grow, the appreciation. Again, depends on what's the goal of your investment. If it's for your own personal use or to actually generate a passive income. Because real estate is fantastic to generate passive income. And that money you can already take for your lifestyle. If it's for, again, same saving account, or again, help the second generation and your children to enter into the same market.
And even if the passive income is not evident now, it will be in a few years from now, right? So if you buy a rental property and you use the rental income to offset some of those debts, you end up at an even level, right? So it covers your mortgage, it covers your expenses, and all you do is just wait for time for your property to appreciate in value, and later you can either sell it, refinance it, take the money out of it, and invest in another property.
So how about the exit strategy? Like I have invested in a property for say. I invest in a property, I wait for return investment, I want to have an exit strategy. What are your takes on that?
I would also say I will probably have a conversation with you to understand what is the goal for that, for this exit strategy. Is it for because you're already retiring and you just want to sell all your assets and leave off the
like
fruit?
many of the Canadian families, I would say the elderly people are looking forward to this.
Looking to be mortgage free.
Yes, because as you know, everybody say this, that in Canada, your home will not be yours till 30 and 35 years.
I will interrupt you here for a second. There is a product called reverse mortgage. Where basically you would use the equity of your home today. You will help your children today, not when you die, right? You will get the payments, either lump sum or payments monthly, and you can either use that money to fix up your property so it's easier for you to stay at home if you're an elderly person, right? Maybe building a bathroom on the first floor or helping your children with down payment. Your kids don't need to wait for you to pass for you to help them. So exit strategy, I wouldn't call it that. I would just say tap into your equity and use that money to help your children today.
We come as a package. What we find especially, and why we build this brand of Yoffe Homes in order to help newcomers. Again, we are in Canada, let's be realistic. We are the land of opportunity and land of immigration as well. Every year we have new people that the rules of their back country is very different than what it is in Canada. So when you come in and you're a newcomer, you don't know where to start. Am I speaking to a lawyer first? Do I need mortgage? Do I need a real estate agent? What are the responsibilities of a real estate agent? Do I need a contract? Where do I start? So we are completely one point of contact for everybody. So whoever you will reach out first, for Polly, for myself, for my legal team, we are trying to help the client basically as a hub. 360 degree. And because Canada. And because we're also communicate with one another, we try between ourselves to regroup and see what will be the best investment strategy for that person. Because again, nobody is copy-paste. Every person comes with different funds, with different experience, with different desires, where and locations. Again, Canada is very broad. Toronto is one aspect. We can do north, south. Again, you also need to educate the client in regards to, again, schools. What if for you it's very important because you're a mother and you want to make sure that your children go to high ranking schools? Then again, set of expectations. So we have, for us, I usually do a 2-hour complete free consultation for every single client, regardless if they choose to work with me. It's just a knowledge that I spread. And I also do very minor financial planning for them just to understand and pass on to Polly the information of what I think will be my recommendation. Because my aim at the end of it, that every 5 years, you will be more wealthy than 5 years prior. That's my aim. Even if it takes 6 months in order for you to achieve your goal, we will make sure that we will guide you all the way from start till end with one point of contact.
That's where trust comes in, right? That's where it's important. As much as we're visual people now and doing FaceTimes and through email, I think nothing beats a personal connection. And this industry is all about that. It's about the human connection. People are trusting you with their finances. They're showing you your bank statements, their pay stubs, their assets. It's very sensitive information. So I do my absolute due diligence that when you speak to me, it's with me, your information is safe. And I do my ultimate best. I'm on your side. I don't work for the banks, right? I have a vast majority of lenders that I do work with. And when you come to me, I assess your credit score, your income, your down payment, your assets, and we construct the best way for you to apply for a mortgage and what is the best way for you to go. So, for example, a challenge now that people are thinking about is whether to go with a fixed rate or a variable rate, considering the the unstable market, right? Since the pandemic, it's been very scary, I would say. Even people in my industry are thinking, what's going to happen? Like, we have bets. Like, is it coming down? Is it coming down?
Really?
Absolutely. And then, you know what? Nobody has a precise answer because we've kind of like, we don't know what's going to happen. So what is the best way to go is, again, to assess your financial risk. So where do you stand? Does your financial stability allow you to take a variable mortgage where you can allow yourself for fluctuating payments? Or is it perhaps best to go a little bit higher on the percentage? Right now, fixed is actually better to go with, but we won't go into that. But it's important for you to maybe maintain a stable payment monthly so you know where you stand.
Okay, so in general, the Vaughan metropolitan area that you're speaking about, it's a new development. They're basically trying to do downtown vibe, not in downtown. Now, what's the difference between investing in downtown and investing in Vaughan? So first of all, Toronto has higher land transfer tax. So once you buy in Toronto, you need to come with much more money up front. The rental income of Toronto is clearly higher because, again, young professionals are working in Toronto. Also, the universities, we have to remember that. So it depends of who you are as a client. So if you are, again, a young professional working in downtown Toronto, of course, downtown will be the option for you. Now, if you are a family that travels and you can commute to work and you don't necessarily have a vehicle, I do suggest Vaughan. So first of all, the commute, it's right there in the same metropolitan area. They developed a huge plaza for also youth, for entertainment and parks and movie theater, and Costco is there. So you have everything within your reach. It's also amazing for networking. Again, as a newcomer, you want to meet new people with multiple cultures. You get everything there just by walking outside and sitting at the park. Now, in regards to the investment that you asked, those condos were pre-built, let's say starting 5 years ago. Yes. So people were buying it on paper pre-construction. The problem with pre-construction, not necessarily the problem, the challenge is that you never know what the market will be down the road. Especially who could have predicted the pandemic, right? So the pandemic actually increased everything. People understand that now they're working from home. Now they need bigger spaces. Now they need an office. Suddenly they're with their spouse in a very small area.
Yeah.
They need to separate.
Yes.
So that is not enough.
Too much of your time. You're being too much with me. Come on, get lost.
So when you see on paper, I always suggest for my clients, especially if you're looking to buy pre-construction, not to look at 1+1, but to look at the square footage. What's the difference, for example? So 1+1 is basically one bedroom. What's the rules in order to create a second bedroom? You need to have a closet. That's all, and a door. So once you do a den, there is no closet, then it's a 1+1. The prices are usually approximately 100 to 200,000 less. So you might have two options. One condo, 1+1, and we'll do average 600 square feet. And then we'll have a 2-bedroom, the same 200 square feet. But the price here will be higher because it has a closet and a door. So for my clients, if the square footage is the same, I would say, we will put you a closet and a door. Like, why would you invest more?
I think they are a very good brand. You must always contact them. I'll give all the details. आपको जितनी भी details चाहिए, इनका contact number, इनकी contact details, they're readily available to help you anytime you want. But always make sure to make a prior appointment because they're always on the road. They're always in the car, driving, always on call.
One thing that you should consider regarding your credit score. So in order to build your credit, you need two sources of credit, right? So either it's a credit card or a car lease or something like that for a minimum of $2,000 for 2 years. For 2 years. So
What is the best credit score you would say?
800.
If you can, yes, it's good. It's good. If you're in the 700s, you're safe. But again, even if it's lower, there's ways to increase them and to help them. Absolutely. Guidance, right? So make sure that you pay your credit card bills on time, right? Don't skip payments. Don't utilize the full amount of your credit. So if you have a $30,000 credit limit, don't use it all. Don't maximize your credit cards. It works against you.
Wow, that is such a good tip. I also wanted to talk about the post-purchase help.
Oh, thank you for asking that. I find that's also very important.
Yes.
I keep track with my clients, I think forever. I don't let them be. Because of my background in renovations, I'm again the one point of contact forever. Wow. So whenever they need, again, refinancing, we will help with Polly. If they need any renovations done, I'm always there. If anything broke, I'm there. And also property management. If they choose to invest, we manage their properties for them. So it's very important. Retention, as you said, is the key. So what again happens, I find that, and I will try to be very soft and gentle when I say that, a lot of people are looking at the immediate return right now of how much money they can make. That I find is a flaw in the human mind. It's not how much you're making right now. It's the path that you're building for yourself in your future. So when you're just doing one transaction, and again, a lot of people do that. Oh, I just sold the house. I don't care anymore. And so what you're doing, you're constantly in a rush to find more clients and more clients in order to get this another transaction. I don't do that. I work with my existing database nonstop. And as it grows, I nurture my database. I follow up with my database because this database is the lead source, the best lead source generation that I have. Because they will recommend me to everybody surrounding them. Because I never look at how much I'm gonna make from you right now. I don't care. So if you're coming to me and you're like, Irene, I can't buy a house right now, but I would love to rent. A lot of agents will say, I'm not gonna start driving around with you and looking for a rental place with you because there is no income there for the agent. Gas is expensive, time is expensive. They would rather spend their time door knocking, hustling, finding this one sale or one listing or one buyer. I am completely the opposite. I don't care if you will buy, if you will sell, if you will rent. My aim right now, just to help you set your success.
Wow. And just sorry to interrupt, also with mortgages, right? It's the long haul, right? If you're not ready to buy now, I can prepare you to buy in a year from now or 2 years from now. Wow. There's a way to build your portfolio, so to speak, and your application when taking it to the lender. So when she had a few clients that wanting to rent, what they wanted to buy, but unfortunately they couldn't. Their incomes were on the lower side. They didn't have enough saved. We said, let's work with them and prepare them to buy in a year from now.
So we follow up. We make sure that your credit is growing as you need.
We come from a world, especially I come from a country where, single mothers are very much questioned. Their value is questioned because of the stereotypes that we were fed. To me, marriage was fed just like food. We were fed values of marriage that, you cannot survive without a partner. You are a single mother. You have 2 children. I am really keen to understand how did you break all those norms and how they were there to support you, yourself, your cousin, you, both of you together, your kids. And with that, you also support women empowerment. You are always, you're gloating actually. I would say gloat. Mm-hmm. Yes, why not? How are you actually balancing? You strike a balance. How are you doing it?
And I'm sorry to my father if he will ever watch that, because I will put him on the spot a little bit here. When I was still in my marriage and I saw that felt that I don't want to be a housewife. I don't want to be a woman that is standing behind her man. I wanted to be a woman that stands behind herself. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted to grow as a human, as a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur. And when we decided to part ways and everybody going their own direction, I had a conversation with my father and he's like, so what are you going to do now? Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? You're by yourself with 2 little children. My children at the time were 1 and 3. He's like, where? And I'm like, Dad, I don't know. I will figure it out. I will do something. And he said, okay, you have 2 options. One option, we have a property up north. You're going to go and live in that property. The rent is very cheap there because the mortgage at the time was very little. And you have to find a better paying job to make sure that you're providing for them. Mm-hmm. And I look at him, and it was the first time that I disagreed with my father. And I said, no, I'm going to believe in the power of manifestation. Wow. I'm going to find a very big house. I'm going to rent that house, and it will push me for where I want to be. And at that point, I was sitting with myself with a lot of paperwork and notes, like, what do I see that there is no ceiling for a woman, and that there is no industry like that a woman can dominate? And I'm like, what about construction? It's basically managing men.
Yeah.
It's bossing them around. I do it anyways every day. I have 2 boys.
Well, we are too much famous for that.
Yes, we know how to do that. And I find that the skill of multitasking and organization is lacking in that industry.
Exactly.
And when I said, again, back to my father, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to open my own construction company. He's like, do you need a mental institution? What is wrong with you? He's like, you're from healthcare background. Where are you going? What?
It's funny to note that our parents are fixer-uppers. So they would buy a property, fix it up. So the dinner table is constantly, okay, we need to put a wall here. We need to take this down. We need to open up the space. So we grew up on that. It's like, you think that like we know nothing about it, but honestly, we know most.
Yes, because dinner table discussions were that.
And real estate, because we have...
discussing all of that.
Yeah.
So I told them, let me show you how wrong you are. Down the road, years passed. My phone calls right now with my father are always about, I need to sand my stairs. Which sanding paper should I buy? I have a leak in the house. Can you send your team? By the way, we're building a sauna at the cottage. What wood should I... So it's so funny that it shifted to the point that now I'm his number one consultant in everything related to renovations and real estate. But yes, I went very against what I was taught in a very Soviet USSR mentality of a woman is more a nurse, a teacher, definitely not entering into anything that the strong man is capable of doing, and just be a woman.
Just be there to nurture and provide. In fact, not even provide. They think men are the one who would be the provider.
But you can do both.
You can do both.
You can do both.
And it was challenging. Again, let's not put a fake mask on and say, oh, it was so easy. It was a lot of hard work.
Just like how it happens in movies.
Yeah, and then you're successful.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I used to put my kids to bed at 8:30, was nap time. My partners would have come at 9, and we used to work until 2 a.m., then woke up again at 6. And it was years of development and trial and error, and we lost money and we won money. So again, it's a journey. It's not easy, but if you have the drive and the motivation, you're more than capable of doing that. So when I came to Canada, I was 18, she was a baby. And I remember I opened my suitcase and then I went to the bathroom. I came back, she was in my suitcase going through my clothes. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she was so excited by me being there. But for me, she was like a child. I'm like, just go away. You're interfering me. And then she was constantly with me throughout like my life process. And I was like, no, just, you're bothering me. Like you're the little sister.
She was the cool older sister that I never had, right? I have an older brother, but it's not the same as, a sister. And I was always looking up to her, and I was always admiring her, and she always her confidence, her outfits, like till this day, right? Till this day, every season, Polly, I got a new bag of clothes for you. But how we got into the industry? So we had kind of a similar path, but it's not like we did it together. It was just we were just going on our life paths, just like parallel to each other. So we were working as a waitress. I was doing it for about 10 years. Irina was doing it for 10 years. That's how we saved for our first down payment and bought each a property with that money.
So you did it for 10 years?
Yes. Through school. Even when I even gave birth to my second child, while building behind the scene a business, the waitressing money was so good that I was still doing it once a week as an additional income for me. And I had questions, you're not ashamed. Why would you do? I'm like, no. Because the money is great. The skills that you learn as a server is unbelievable. You learn customer service. Yes. You learn multitasking. Correct. You learn how to receive negativity with a huge smile on your face and say, I will make sure that you will get a better meal next time. So the amount of skills that we developed and again, calculating money and tips and everything back then was damage control and navigate the situation. We actually took that money and invested in our first properties.
So that's
parallel.
when you decided.
No. And then I went on my own path with construction. She went her own path. And then at some point, when I started taking my real estate license, she was doing her mortgage. And we're like, that's odd. Like at the same time, life brought us together, and I said, oh my God.
And it's not that we were planning on partnering or anything, because she's like, okay, I'm changing paths, I'm gonna go do real estate. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, and then behind the scenes, I was like, you know what? While I'm working, I'm gonna do my mortgage license. We'll see where that takes me. Sure, okay. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm licensed, she's licensed. Oh, how did that happen? And then boom, and then, you know, magic and power and just amazing.
The magic is
So-
actually happening.
Yes.
And we can see that. Your face, your smile is speaking your success.
If you are not sure exactly, if you are lost in regards to also a sense of what to do here and what opportunities Canada has for you, again, we've been here and we tried every line of work I think possible with all ups and downs. So please reach out. Would love to connect and see how we make your journey better.
Absolutely. We're here to guide you every step of the way, to take your application, to put it together in the right form, the way that lenders want to see it, to know what mistakes to avoid, and we'll be there for you to guide you through from point A to point Z.
Yes, and before I say bye, I would also like to add that obstacles will come in the journey of finding that dream home when you come to Canada as a new immigrant. I know you come from a country where things were different, and here you come and you face the real realities, the truth. But remember, they are there to help you. As they said, they will prepare you for that better future, and they will make sure you will find your dream home very, very soon and without that financial loss. You are in safe hands. Please contact Irina and Polly. They are so beautiful, and I'm sure while talking to them, like I am, like, with their, in awe with their beauty, you're gonna get a little, you know, distracted as well, just like me, but beware. And keep watching Canada TV. This is a land of possibilities. You make your way. Thank you. Thank you for watching.